Hey everyone, how you doing today? With us, we have a very special guest, the CEO of Coinspaid himself, Max Krupyshev. Max, hello, and thank you so much actually for taking the time out of your schedule to stop by and having a quick chat with us. I'll jump in straight to the first question, only because I'm eager to it. You have been in this business for some time already and surely have something to say about the development of crypto payments. Could you tell us about the evolution of crypto payments and crypto processing?
Hi, Ray. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Pleasure to join you for this webinar. I'm in crypto since 2013. And basically the first project, no, I think it would be a funny one. Basically the first project that I saw was basically just trying to give the utility for the merchants and people who are using cryptocurrency and merchants to receive cryptocurrency. I had friends who were running the cafe. It's like anti-cafe, right? When you pay for the time. I basically gave them the iPad, which I owned, with the wallet installed, which also I developed with my friend. It was the first startup I did in 2013, 2014 in crypto, for them to basically accept crypto. So I gave them the money and say, this is the prepayment, and now you just collect the payments through this app, which was installed on the iPad. So the story ended that the iPad was stolen in 1 month. So this is the end of the story. This is how accepting cryptocurrency worked in Kiev in Ukraine in 2014. Basically, the evolution has been just crazy. So the adoption of crypto changed like so dramatically from 2013, right? If you just try to remember 2013 or somewhere around that, when you spoke with people about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and so on, they were like, how do you even spell it? How do you even pronounce it, right? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and so like all the various things. So I was like, as a crazy guy in the city, who is informing the people about the gospel or whatever, and everyone like, just go away. At that moment, just few startups appeared, right? So the BitPay was on the stage. They raised just I think in the end of 2013, beginning of 14, 80 million euros, right? It seemed like they are the obvious leader and there is no space for everyone in the space, hugely funded, US-based startup, right? So everything looked extremely good. But over the years, sort of the adoption of the payment in e-commerce just didn't sort of appear, right? In your everyday life, do you see a lot of merchants, a lot of the payments that you do online, do many of them accept crypto? Not really, right? You don't see it on the booking.com, on the Amazon, on the eBay. I don't know, when you buy tickets to the cinema and stuff, you just simply don't see it. So here we are speaking about the adoption, right? So adoption of crypto, of course, increased dramatically. Right now, 300 million people have access to crypto, right? So they have some crypto. So they are potentially happy to pay with crypto. Industries which adopted crypto very quickly were basically just the usual suspects who have problems with payments. Those are basically iGaming and adult, right? So we speak about casinos, sports betting, and dating. So this is unfortunately how it is, and these industries, they usually adopt technologies just quicker, right? When you speak about video streaming, if you speak about the adoption of the internet in general, we all can agree that adult played a big role, right? This is not bad, this is not good, this is just how it is. And you can find a lot of the proofs, right? I'm not inventing these things. Speaking about the nature of the payments, of course, the technologies are appearing, I'm jumping just to give you the general idea, right? So we're still in the space where e-commerce is sort of adopting the new payments still slowly, right? They have good fees from the Visa Master, they have good fees from the PayPal, everything is easy. Those of them who are local, they just work with the local acquirers and they have no problems with payments at all. They don't have a challenge, they don't have to experiment. Speaking about the nature of the coins which are used for payments, I'm surprised to tell you, still in 2022, that Bitcoin is still massively used for payments. When we speak about the huge streams of different cryptocurrencies, different blockchains, Bitcoin is still responsible for more than the half of the payments on chain, which doesn't make any sense if you ask me. How the space changed? Of course, in 2013, this was only Bitcoin and Litecoin, right? So people, of course, paid with those. Right now, people mostly like to pay with the stable coins, right? With USDC, with USDT, mostly with BUSD, as Binance is promoting this asset. So for people, they start to see cryptocurrencies as investment vehicles, as trading vehicles, but they don't see them as the payment vehicle. So they see USDT and USDC. But now in the last years, just saying send me USDT is not enough. There is a question on which blockchain, right? So right now USDC exists on 15 blockchains. On 12 of them officially, and I think on 3 of them, somebody just created a token backed by other token, right? So this madness of the multi-chain is sort of happening. So right now the payment space is different. You have to accept different cryptocurrencies on different blockchains, and it's increasing. It's getting the pace. So merchants who are accepting crypto, they see over the years, over the months, that the percentage of their payments, of the portfolio of their payments, is moving into crypto, right? So if somebody just switched on crypto and they have around like 3% of the payments going through crypto, over the year it changes, let's say, from 3 to 6. So the cannibalization is happening. It's giving them some additional instruments to get new users, right? They now can do promotions not only in the usual channels, but also try to go into some crypto specific websites and try to promote their services or goods there. So I think the shift is different and in different directions and so on. It was quite long, quite a heavy answer to the first questions. Let's see what you have in your book.
I have a follow-up question. Why do you think e-commerce businesses have like the slow transition to cryptocurrency payments? Like, why do you think there's such a big break? Like, it seems like they're just skidding on the road and it's not moving forward.
There are a few reasons, right? So you understand there are people who are making decisions. When we speak about some local e-commerce brands, right, they understand that they pretty much set up, right? So for example, if we speak about electronics supermarkets, I don't know, in Ukraine, they know in which banks their users have accounts, right? They get the acquiring from those banks, and they know that all the customers basically have accounts with the monobank or with the private bank, and they don't have to be creative. They know that all their clients using these banks, right? They just have no motivation to be creative. Speaking about the fees are low, right? They don't really care. They pay around 1%, and they are fine. Now the second question, so they don't have business need, right? This is the first problem. They don't. The second one, if they try to be, innovative, a bit hypey and so on, they go to the payment department and say, guys, let's accept cryptocurrencies. And then they go to accountants are going to the legal departments, and they say, guys, there are so many risks that we have no idea how to estimate. We have no idea how it works. We don't know what to do with exchange rate fluctuations. We don't know how to explain it to the tax office. We don't know how to represent it to the tax office. What is the business need? And they say, the business need is quite low. We just want to be innovative. And that is how the idea dies in the beginning, right? So the amount of challenges that needs to be solved is bigger than the business value. So I think this is where they mostly are. When the adoption of cryptocurrency, let's say 15% of the population, right, then they would be like, okay, guys, we just have to, right? We'll look at it on the Amazon, on the BitPay, on PlayStation Store. They all accept cryptocurrencies in one or another form, and we just have to. So I think just the business value doesn't reach the critical value. I would say this is what I see. They just don't have a challenge, and the business value is still low for them.
There is a whole suite of products Coinspaid has. Could you tell us more about your company and your products so that we get to know you and your story?
Yes, right. So I've been playing with the payments and crypto professionally since 2015. And I sort of accumulated the bag of different values that clients see in accepting cryptocurrency. And what we did, basically with Coinspaid, we sort of rebranded and relaunched it in 2019 with the idea in mind that we have to give a powerful solution with a very low entry challenge, right? So the requirement for the client of understanding crypto, of having some additional processes, as low as we can, right? So we had to hide all the complexity of cryptocurrencies, all the complexity of the price fluctuations, all the complexity of the speed of the transaction, all the complexity of the doing the on-chain AML, all to hide under the hood that it just looks like a usual payment solution, right? So under the hood, this is a like crazily difficult solution, which costs, which like the cost of the solution is millions of euros. When you are a merchant, you just look at the API and you look at the back office, it feels like it is a very, very simple solution where everything is so clear. You just see the payment, you see the balance, you click on the button to withdraw the money or to download the CSV, and it looks for you just, as a usual payment solution that they used to. So the idea is that we had to make everything which is very difficult, some things which who never did before, just made it simple. I will give you an example, right? So just a step back. There is a whole chain of misconceptions, right? Cryptocurrency is what? Slow. It's anonymous, right? You have no idea who sent you the money. The price fluctuation jumps, right? All these misconceptions are in the head of the clients, right? Of potential clients who somehow say, we probably want to accept crypto, but we cannot. So I will give you an example. For example, Bitcoin is the oldest cryptocurrency, right? Do you remember how iPhone 1 looked like, the first iPhone in 2007?
I had the first iPhone.
Do you still remember how it looked like?
Yeah, I remember what it looked like.
I saw this in the museum here in Amsterdam over the weekend. It was in the museum, like the technology history. It looks like a brick. It's not a phone. I mean, it's like it stands next to the Nokia 3300, and it doesn't look like it was a big jump ahead, right? So it's still big, the small screen and so on. Bitcoin was launched 2 years after the iPhone, right? So this is a very old technology. So the example, basically, as our clients can accept Bitcoin transaction, have it converted into euros in 3 seconds after the customer on the other side of the world clicked the button send. They have the original amount of Bitcoin, they have the amount of euro that we exchange it to. It has the score rate, right? Is it a risky transaction, not risky transaction, connected with the darknet or whatever. In 3 seconds, we clear the transaction in slow, anonymous and fluctuating cryptocurrency, right? And for the client, it is just a euro deposit, right? And this is basically what we are doing here, right? So we are just making something complicated simple. And with the all new blockchains, with all new second layer solutions, with searching for the providers who can give us, a better exchange rate, and a quicker analysis of the score. We're using insurance provider who insures us who gives us insurance to accept transaction before it is accepted in the blockchain, right? As I said, Bitcoin, it takes usually around 10 minutes to get confirmed. In 2013, it was usually everyone waited for 6 confirmations. I don't know if you remember this, but so yeah, we just have to innovate even with the old technologies to make them useful.
Now, going back to how fast they're actually being processed and everything, I've heard that crypto processing by Coinspaid is fast. Can you explain just how fast is it? Maybe just a little bit in depth?
Yeah, so basically it depends on the blockchains, right? Some blockchains are quicker, some blockchains are slower. I think we are not on the level to compare like with the Visa or MasterCard, which is a centralized, very old, very a polished solution, right? Which has standards, and if you tap your card in the supermarket, whenever you are, the transaction will beep like within the seconds, right? Just because this is a very strong system with a huge amount of the servers all around the world, and it's just so clean and nice, and handling thousands of transactions, I don't know, a second. Crypto is not there at all, right? And this is not a limitation of our system, but of course, I mean, I would be lying to you if I say we have a Visa grade system, right? It would be complete lies. I think no one in the industry have this. Basically, blockchain themselves, right? They are not as quick, right? They were never designed to sort of be that quick. And there are some technologies which are invented to be very quick, but they don't get traction, right? Because in order to be used by users, so why people have cryptocurrency, right? Because they are greedy, right? They want to buy and earn, right? And basically, if you ask all your colleagues, I don't know, anyone who has cryptocurrency, you will ask, Why do you have it? They probably will not tell we bought it because there is an ideology behind it. We just believe that the world will be using it. They will say, because the price will grow. And the case is that the currencies which price is growing are the older cryptocurrencies, right? And they sort of have the legacy of being slow and clumsy and so on. Bitcoin and Ethereum are examples of the first cryptocurrencies in their kind, right? There are, like, for example, Tron is a much quicker blockchain. The traction is not entirely there. So basically, we now process 1.5 million transactions a month, right? Which makes it not that much, a minute, around 20, 30 transactions, right? Which is still a transaction almost every 2-3 seconds, right? But basically, our system, when it sees the transaction in the blockchain, it can basically do the exchange through the provider, check the score rate, and so on. This is not a rocket science, right? You can basically do it. The challenge here is to adapt the risk profiling of the transaction, like how quickly you can guarantee money to the client, because you're basically guaranteeing them money for something that you didn't receive yet, right? So you know that there is transaction arriving. It probably will arrive. It most likely will arrive. Now you have to sell your own cryptocurrency that you as a company own in order to fix the rate, right? Deliver money to the client, then wait for the money to arrive and replace your money with this new money. And you have to do it all quickly, right? So speaking about the speed, of course, speed is one of the main components. Tron is quick by default, right? We don't have to make it much quicker. It's just in the matter of seconds. The USDT on Tron is also quite a popular one. We do it quickly. With Bitcoin, with BCH, with Litecoin, we use insurance, right? So it's quick because we pay money for insurance to make it quick, right? Clients like it, right? And the business model sort of allows us to spend a small percentage for this insurance. With Ethereum, it's sort of always a bit of a pain because the technology is very, tricky to work with. This is a huge blockchain with a lot of the contracts and so on, and you have to dig the whole blockchain to get your transaction. So Ethereum is sort of a challenging one. We also use the insurance, right? But this is probably the most challenging one to make it work, just the usual payment solution. I would say for a majority of transactions, we are speaking about seconds, right? Some really tricky blockchains, we speak about a minute or two, right? So the client has to pay, right? And then the merchant gets the confirmation and client get the service or the money. One very important thing that basically we changed the paradigm of online payments slightly. And I will explain. This might sound unusual, but you'll realize that this is obvious and nice. Basically speaking about the cryptocurrencies, they use not like Visa or MasterCard. And all the online merchants and all the online payment solutions, they were invented for cards, right? They all sort of, the payment screen looks like enter the card details, enter the expiry date, the CSV, and your name, click button, and we will do the magic. And this always based on the card, right? So on the amount of the goods or services you are buying, right? You don't enter the amount there usually, right? You don't enter the amount is already defined by what you are buying, right? If you buy the tickets to the cinema for 30 euros, you don't have to enter, I want to buy for 30 euros. They will charge your card for the 30 euros. With cryptocurrencies, the case is that if we speak about e-commerce, yes, it has to work like this, right? But you don't enter your Bitcoin details or crypto details. You just have the payment request and you have to send money to, right? It cannot really work differently. But when we are speaking about funding some accounts, right, where, for example, you fund your account on the website where you buy the domains or hosting, right? You usually prepay the account, right? For the hosting, it might scale, right? So you don't know what will be the consumption. So you just send them, they send you notification, your balance is out, and you send them 200 euros, right? And you understand it will be approximately for 1 year. With crypto, the case is that these open amount payments are amazing. Crypto is really made for this. And when I told you before what are the industries which adopting cryptocurrency quicker, are basically online entertainment. And most of them are based, some of them are based on subscription model, but most of them are based on the balances. So customers have internal balances. And crypto for funding those balances is just a charm. The beauty is that the merchant gives each client a dedicated address. They give them a Bitcoin address, an Ethereum address, and whatever. And client knows that this is their funding address. They can any time of the day and night just send money there. They don't have to log into the website. They don't have to do anything. They just know the address, right? They save it in the address book and so on. And if they want, let's say, to do the sports betting, right? I don't know, over the weekend, on Friday evening, they were like, okay, tomorrow I have a few games which I want to bet. I will send €100 to my account, I don't know, on some bookie. They go to their wallet, they have the saved address, they send, and in a few seconds there on the website, they already have the balance funded, right? They don't have to even log into the website and do some clicks and so on. So it's completely asynchronous deposit method. It's much easier, no clicks, no nothing, and that is where crypto really strives. So this approach with internal balances is where cryptocurrency just works so much better than anything else.
With processing, even if it happens in a few seconds, surely seems like there's a lot happening within a company to make this happen. And how much does Coinspaid charge for its processing services?
Depends on the size of the client, on the industry of the client, on the risk profile of the client, right? Which will be decided during the onboarding process. Usually, it is somewhere around 1%, right? So we are definitely cheaper than the competition, right? Than the open banking, than the Visa, Mastercard, than the e-wallets like Skrill or whatever, right? They are mostly operating with over 1%, I don't know, up to 3-4, right? For some really high risk clients, I mean, we probably don't even work with those. They are being charged like 12% or something. Our top fee that we are giving to clients is around 1.6, 1.7, right? This is the top fee. So here, basically, accepting cryptocurrency is not only international and instant and irreversible, right? So there are no chargebacks also, and it's also relatively cheap, right? I don't like using this in the promoting of the services that it is cheap, right? Because when you say that it is cheap, everyone like, this is a cheap method. But in order to win the competition, basically, you can still maintain a relatively good margin while operating on around 1%.
So Max, Coinspaid became the crypto payment market leader with more than 12 billion euro processed in total. I'm sure you're very proud of this achievement. Could you tell us a little bit more about your future plans and upcoming features, perhaps?
Yeah, always. No, of course, I'm extremely proud and extremely grateful to the whole team for this great achievement. I mean, this was, in 2019, we were a team of 12 people, right? And transaction volumes of probably like 20 million a month, right? And right now we are running off around 1 billion euros a month volumes. So of course, this is a great achievement. Basically, this is all about streamlining, right? We understand. Our backlogs are just endless, right? The amount of the things that we have to deliver, that we want to deliver, amount of the things that we want to improve, to make our clients more happy, to give them new features, to give them new business models that they can use with us. It's just crazy. New protocols, new tools to collect the payments, right? Right now we see a lot of centralized solutions appearing in crypto, right? We see that centralized exchanges, they launch their own, sort of e-wallets, right? That their users can check out the merchants, right? And they try to fight for the market, while they basically don't offer crypto payment solutions, right? They offer the solution to pay from their accounts on their exchanges, right? Which has nothing to do with crypto. Crypto doesn't move anywhere. So aggregate all of those solutions into ours, right? So to give merchants the opportunity not only to accept cryptocurrency, but also to accept sort of money from cryptocurrency accounts, right, which is not really accepting crypto, but looks like accepting crypto. This is just one of the examples. Enhancing the back offices, right, give merchants more statistics, right, so they can see how their sales look like, right, so they can see this with us as well. I'm sure all of them have the CRMs and what have them. Also new products, right? We are developing the wallet sort of to close the ecosystem, right? So because amount of end users who are using our system is around 5 million, right? To give them our wallet so that they can send money to our merchants instantly and for free, right? When they already using cryptocurrency, they already spend it with the merchants on the daily, weekly, monthly basis. why not just use it instantly by default, right? They don't have to pay mining fees and so on. For the merchants, it's also completely safe, right? Because they know that they are getting money from verified accounts of the clients, right? So the AML risk is completely out, the CFT risk is completely out, right? And it is just cheaper. Then speaking about strengthening the offering, right, using the layer one technologies, right, like as the Polygon for Ethereum, right, to make Ethereum transactions quicker, a Lightning for Bitcoin to make Bitcoin transactions quicker, right? The adoption of those technologies sort of getting there, but we have, to be on the forefront, right, to see what can be used tomorrow and so on. For some things we are already delayed, right, because of course being the biggest in the market, of course, also makes us slower, right? Because we have clients who are waiting for their needs to be satisfied, right? We also getting a lot of the processes, right, where we kind of cannot afford to be this, startup-y, flexible, quick way, right, where we need to pay a lot of attention to security, pay a lot of attention if our new developments will break some flows for the older clients and so on. Those are, of course, obvious things, right? But it also makes that our approach to the new things have to be more weighted and so on. And basically, we're cooking a lot of the things. We are working on tokenization projects, right, which is sort of like on the back burner, and we are sort of thinking what to do with this and gathering the teams. We are getting the expansion globally, right? We just recently opened opening our presence in the Latin America, right, with the license from El Salvador. We have our employees now building up in Brazil, in Peru, in Argentina, right? We see a huge interest from that market, right? So it's improving the product, it's improving the processes, it's basically making our clients more happy. It's expansion, geographic ones, and also getting into new industries, right? We think that travel is very interesting. We feel that e-commerce sort of starting to get there, right? Mostly like international e-commerce, local e-commerce is sort of slower, right? And as I said, business needs are probably not there. So this is a lot of movements, really. Huge plans, huge backlogs, huge hiring plans, right? To support all these new directions, new ideas with the talent. But yeah, this is how it is.
So Max, thank you so much for joining in and having this chat with us. Lots of information, very, very cool stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in on this episode, and I'll see you on the next one. My name's Ray. Thank you.